working through this, what I've found is that one has to highlight on the spreadsheet these variables. It doesn't grab all the variables. So what I did was I went over here, I went to pivot table, I clicked on, and it's giving me this list here. Now, notice also too that there's new language up here, pivot table analyze. So what we want to do, go over to pivot chart, right? It's going to give us exactly as requested here, clustered columns. Now, note that this is a little different than the instructions. The instructions kind of have this gridded out a different way, but we can go ahead and click on the cluster chart here and click OK. And then now it's going to take us down here. We want to put the key at the bottom. It doesn't really tell us how to do that, but what we'll do now is to distribute these and narrow them down to crime types of burglary. So from here, everything's pretty straight up. So we click on blank pivot chart. Okay. We're going to go crime types. We're going to move those to the filters and the values box. Okay. For the instructions. We're going to drag homeless to the filters box. Okay. So homeless to the filters box. Prior arrest to the legends box. Okay. Then education level to the access box. I've automatically put it there. Okay. Okay, so this gives us this information here. Okay. Then what we want to do, we want to go to the crime types filter and narrow it down per the terms of the instructions to just looking at burglaries. Okay. Burglary here. And we get this chart here, right? Note that for this chart, this gives us some information, the number of arrests for burglary that's there, okay? And so this basically is what we get in terms of this information. Now, it doesn't really give us fine-grained information about homelessness. So what I want to do is I want to click off of all, and then just click. I want to make sure and exclude any missing variables. Okay, and this is the chart right now that I get. Okay, it's the count of the crime types of just burglaries, right? So what this tells us, we have some interpretive information. What this tells us is people with college. There were kind of 13. There were 13 burglaries, 87 for people in high school, and 38 for people in middle school, right? Crime types went 60. That's just burglaries, and then the prior arrests. There were 36 out of the 138. So I think this is a start. I'm still tweaking the data to make sure it looks ideal. I'm not quite satisfied with this yet, but I wanted to share with you so we have a basis for conversation, and for me, perhaps you have some insight on how to do this that I wouldn't. So that's what's going on with this. The only other part, the first part, again, we covered the other day, this past, Friday, a couple of Fridays ago. To get measures of central tendency, one has to click the formula, write the formula at the bottom of the spreadsheet here. We'll get out of there, go down to the age, and then there are different, like you would write the equal, average, paren, but then after you do that, you would then have to move up and highlight the list there. And you'd have to stop so that, because now in this version of Excel, they're picking up the alphabetic data, right? Okay, so I hope this is useful. I don't want to belabor too much of the point. It's still looking a little ham-handed to me, but I'm going to be working on a bit